All right, guys, and here we go, and welcome to another exciting broadcast. I learned to now unmute my mic, and so with that being said, we are going to be able to get this party started with some amazing gameplay as we get this party started. Now, with that being said, we are going to be looking over just a couple of matches that we got going on this week. Now, in case you guys don't know, we got a couple of big things happening for you this week. One of the things that is going to be doing some amazing things is this Sunday we got ESL that is going to be casting 2 Onward matches. Now that is going to be freaking awesome. And with that being said, the 2 matches that have been able to already be selected is a rematch between Boss Fight and Lemon Squad. Now it was a pretty close match last time, but Lemon Squad seemed a better Boss Fight, and so now it will be interesting to see if Boss Fight can come back and get a win under their belt, or if Lemon Squad will still be the better team this time around also, and manage to get one up on Boss Fight and possibly start taking the division. They are making some amazing progress, and I'm excited to see what they do and where they go with what they have to do. With that being said, guys, before we look into things, here is a little Onward preview.
Looking to get into competitive virtual reality gaming? Register and compete for free at VRMasterLeague.com. Join hundreds of community members in the official Discord, where you can find a team, discuss a game, and more. Every week, teams from across the globe play for the chance to participate in the end-of-season championship tournament for prizes from league sponsors, ProTube VR, and VR Cover. Think you got what it takes? Join VR Master League and find out.
Sickness getting dangerously close to objective, though. He is going for the plant.
Operator taking shots. They know he's back by the objective room.
Kino's has no idea Beasley managed to get past him. It's going to be a 3v3 for beginners.
But this is catastrophic for Raphael, right?
Soul defended it to the mount.
God, look at this.
Kills on him.
He didn't get it! I didn't even see it!
He's getting greedy! Is he gonna get it? He gets it! He gets the knife!
A grenade returning for Sir Al, and Sir Al is down! That's how you throw a grenade.
You hear someone here?
He hears Scooby. He hears Scooby. He got Scooby. Another one coming. Operator. He got operator.
Oh!
That was 2.
All right, and with that being said, I'm going to be loading into the game right now. Don't look at the password. Not worth it. Anyway, guys, I'll be right back. That's not supposed to happen. Let's see. Stretch to screen. There we go. All right, guys, and it looks like everyone is currently still loading into the room. So with that being said, while we wait for them to load in, we're going to get a couple of things squared away. First off, we are going to say beginners and Silent Purge. We'll turn them up, mute them, turn them up, mute them, just to make sure. And with that, guys, we are squared away. Now, one thing that we are going to be working on a lot lately is that we have... Where am I? There I am. With that being said, guys, we are going to be looking at what the season has had so far for these 2 teams while we wait for them to get started going. And it looks like the first map is going to be Cargo, so that'll be a very interesting one. Some good strats that are needed to be coming from that, so that we can get a little bit better as a whole. There's a lot of teams that seem to be struggling on this map. It is a very tricky map, and there are a lot of places that you can hide. So I'm really excited. We've had a couple of really cool hiding spots come out on this map. And so I'm excited to see what beginners are going to be able to do and how Silent Purge will be able to respond. With that being said, though, we are going to be looking over at the beginners. So, on the lineup for us today, it looks like so far we have, the team as a whole has been a very solid team all around. We have Dr. Killinger, Icy Woods, Kinsai, Cushberries, the legend himself, Smoils, and Sinkas and Woods 43. Now, so far, we have in the lobby Sinkas, Dr. Killinger, Kinsai, and S. I don't know who S is. Don't know. But that's okay. With that being said, though, guys, so far in the season that they've had, it's been a pretty good one for the most part. They've had 3 wins and 0 losses. That's something that you cannot complain about. That is about the best situation that you can be in. But will Silent Purge upset them? It's possible. Silent Purge has had a very good time, and they've had some very strong plays come out. I feel like they're still kind of building together as a team a little bit, but they've made huge leaps forward and are starting to become a team to really reckon with. You got to be careful when going against them. They have some very good aggressive strats, but still are very able to lay back and wait. So it'll be very interesting to see how Silent Purge seems to go against Beginners. Beginners is a team to reckon with. They're a team that you need to worry about fighting. They, on their last match, going against Cannon Fodder, they managed to win 13-5. Now, that's insane, but they won on Suburbia 5-2, and then they 4-0'd on Quarantine 1. Now, with that being said, at the same time, they went against Lemon Squad, who also beat Boss Fight. Lemon Squad beat Boss Fight. And that went really well. Now, Beginners went 4-0, and that's saying something. Lemon Squad did amazing last time going against Boss Fight on Quarantine 1. So that's interesting to see how strong then Beginners are. Now, of course, that was back in July 5th, so they have a little bit that they can still work on with that. But all in all, it was still a pretty close match. Lemon Squad managing to win Bazaar 4-3. That was a close one, but again, only able to score 5 points, so that's cutting it kind of close. So you got to be a little bit careful with that. And then going against Boss Fight, they 4-0'd them on Bazaar. Just crazy stuff going on there. And then all around though, they've done some work, but don't let that fool you, because Silent Purge is here to try to stop their perfect season so far. Now, they've added a couple new players. Nothing too big. They played 4 matches so far, and they are 2-2. So, with that being said, Silent Purge beat Big Red 13-4. Then they lost a close one against Boss Fight. That's huge. 8-12. Okay? Boss Fight's done really good. They're one of the most veteran teams. They're one of the first teams ever to be in the Euro League, and they're a very tight-knit team, and they're ones who usually are very good at discovering new hiding spots, new defensive grounds, new plays, and a lot of the teams emanate like their ideas and their strategies off of a team like Boss Fight. So for Silent Purge to come in and almost beat them 8-12, that's saying something. So with that though, they managed to win on Cargo, which is interesting because they're about to play Cargo right now, 4-3. Then they got destroyed on Suburbia, and that's Boss Fight natural. I mean, they are very strong on that, and they won 5-1. So it's very interesting to see this kind of gameplay that they have. They did go against Lemon Squad also. Lemon Squad beat them 12-6. Again, just 4-0ing them on Downfall. Lemon Squad just dominated on that map against them. Except they have a tie there. Something's not right about that. But anyway, guys, with that being said, it looks like the match is going to begin. Let's get this party started, guys. Should be a good one. And then stretch to screen. Okay. The strats have been discussed, and it looks like the first one that is going to be here will be the north objective. Now, defensively, they're moving into position. You got to be careful moving up to this dark room right here. He managed to get there safely. If someone on the cross managed to spot him right where S is, he would have been able to take him out and get a free kill. You got to watch that angle. That smoke might have helped him on that cross. Meanwhile, they are taking tunnel. And it looks like Sinkas is going to be moving up the tunnel. He's going to have to be watching out for Kev. you got to be very careful as you move up, too. A lot of the shots, especially on this small of a map, really helps you to figure out where people are at. And so when you hear shots, it's able to give away, especially on the offensive, it tells the defensive teams right where you're at. Now, here's something also that's interesting, too. When you are looking down at the players, you're seeing 3 players using night vision. Now, a big reason for that is when you get into these dark areas, you're not really able to see in. But what that helps you do is it helps you be able to see in and better pick out the people who are there. So far, 2 minutes. This is a lot slower play than what I would have expected on something like Cargo. Dr. Killinger's got to be a little bit careful, though. His loud footsteps might say right where he's at. Ooh, but Kev is in the process of peeking. And again, you see in the dark rooms, you're able to see a lot clearer on where things are. Some pre-fired shots out. One taken down by Kev. A nice peek out. Now you got to watch out. There's one coming through. Sincast coming out of the tunnel with a shield. That's going to cause some distraction. He's got to be a little careful. He's got a gun. Nade coming out. Behind him. Is that going to get him? No, it's not. But he manages to get the kill without having a trade. Sincast putting in work there. Beautiful job. Tying it up right now. S is able to get revived. And that'll make it 4-on-3. You've been seeing that play a lot more recently, guys, where they've been giving an actual gun to the shield bearer. And another one's been walking around until one's down. Although this is a lot slower play than I've expected, but it's working out so far. Beginners are now up. Buxton's also playing in his spot that he knows and loves, that doorway, as I get trapped behind a fence. Let's not talk about that. The shield is really helping put in work, getting some good shots out. It's causing Silent Purge to really start using their shots and using their ammo up. Smokes are now coming out. You can expect a move to start coming in. Sincast has a good chance to cap, especially with how his shield's been protecting him. Buxton, though, one thing that he is absolutely skilled at, he's been peeking through the cracks of the red crate right in front of you and being able to see some amazing angles. Again, we see Buxton right here. Let's get a view on him. But he'll just peek through these cracks and be able to see where people are at. And he'll use that completely to his advantage. So he sees one, boom, dead. And that's what Buxton does. Thanks. Thanks for telling me.
You see that? You shooting me?
And right now, just like that, the tide has turned. Silent Purge has gotten work done and are down to a 2v1 with Sincast. 1v1, but Sincast now has given away his position. He's going to possibly try to move in. He's going for the code. Now, this is scary. This might be a new spot that you can put the code in from that we don't know about yet. Beginners, get the cap. You can cap from right there. Oh, man. Now, that is a big move and something that you now have to watch out for. Everyone in the league will now know about that. Oh, snap. That's not good. Oh, beginners getting a cap. Now, that's one thing that's very huge about when going in and playing this game is a lot of teams will go in and for strats and for coming out with new strats will walk around with the tablet out and figure out absolutely every single point that you can cap from. Beginners just did a brand new one that has never before been seen and have been able to get the cap and go up 2-0. Just needless to say, beautiful. And Sincast also, with that shield play, has been able to get 3 kills and the cap. Just blown away right there. Cannot be any more pleased by that kind of gameplay. How did my head get popped up again? Weird. Needless to say, though, guys, that was a treat to absolutely see. So it'll be very interesting to see how Silent Purge now will respond. This is a very dangerous moment for them. They're going to be able to attack on the same objective, so they're going to have to be very careful about that. What are they going to do? I mean, Silent Purge, it was a 1v1 situation. But, this is going to be a very interesting match with that first round. If we have a match that goes like that first round just went, we are in for a treat, folks. I mean, I think one of the biggest mistakes also that this game seems to make, or like a lot of teams seem to make, is they underestimate the rank. What I mean by that is when you are looking at people's MMR, when you're looking at their ranks, for example, when you look at where they are located on the leaderboards, for example, when we go over to the Europe side, and you see that down there, 6th place is Silent Purge, and Beginners are number 1. And like a lot of people and a lot of teams would go in and be like, oh, well, guess what? That means, Silent Purge is obviously going to get absolutely destroyed. Beginners have been undefeated for so many seasons and stuff. But that is completely not the case this season. In fact, you got to be more careful this season because teams, and especially like more of what we thought were the underdog teams, have been able to put in the work and go out and get some amazing upsets. For example, one of my favorite teams, Lemon Squad right now, have put in the work and been able to beat, Boss Fight right now. And again, they beat Silent Purge. So, I mean, a lot of really good stuff for us to be able to look forward to this season. Do not count anyone out. So now with that cap being known, that's a lot. I mean, that's huge just because you have so much cover. Whoopsie. Daydreaming. Here we go. Now, Silent Purge going to come out banging, just rushing the objective. It looks like Beginners are going super aggressive, moving up. Now that they're in position, they got to be very careful with how they move. Oh, and S has his legs pointing out. Now, guys, that is perfectly legal for Kev to be able to shoot at if he's able to spot his leg. I don't think he will. Unfortunately, fortunately, that is legal. You are able to shoot at exposed body parts, and that is one thing that you have to be very careful about when you are playing this map, is that these are very thin walls. And S right now does not know that his legs are somewhat exposed, and if he happens to get shot, that's legal. They're playing nice and slow, still a 5v5. Buxton going up and down. Some moves are going to have to start being made. Smokes are going out for the safe cross. Sincast, this is a very dangerous situation for Sincast to be in. He has to be very careful because once your position is known, you got to be very, very careful. And it's very easy for you to be able to get capped on. Kinsai might be able to see some action coming out now. Oh, and a beautiful nade taking out Kinsai. Starjack should be able to hear that down. Will he peek, though? The answer is yes, but he's got to be careful. Woods is right there to respond. UC Death might be able to get the pick off if he's able to peek correctly. But using that dark uniform, it is so hard to see, especially on that dark of a back. And beginners are able to get the revive. J down and double tapped. Starjack's going to have to be careful moving up. His footsteps can be heard. Slightly, but they can be heard. Oh, he can see someone through the cracks. And taken out by UC Death. That's 2 for UC Death. But it was a trade. Great reaction from Starjack to get that kill. Unfortunately, though, he is dead. And it's up to Kevin Buxton right now. Buxton's got to be very careful on his breathing. Breathing can give you away, especially when you are in a very intense moment and you are breathing hard. That can tell the opponent right where you're at. So Buxton has to be very careful with that, because it might give away his position. They have a lot of work cut out for them, though. Kev, I think, has a little bit more of his work cut out for him, though. He's got 2 people that he needs to worry about. Buxton, though, that's going to be a tough situation to call when coming around that corner. Minute 38 left. Time is of the essence now. Kev, again, if he's lucky, will be able to peek through a corner. Get that kill. Get that kill. Come on, there. There's a guy right there. There's a guy right there. Come on. Oh, and picked off. But that's going to be huge. Buxton's now going to know right where he's at. And it's all up to Buxton. Down. Nice. 1 down, and then S comes from behind and gets the final kill. Beginners moving up 3-0 against Silent Purge. And with that being said, now we get to see where the next objective is going to be, and it's the middle objective. So, with this middle objective, you have another decent chance of being able to get a cap on, and if beginners happen to get a cap, they will be able to take down Silent Purge 5-0. This is a very big round for Silent Purge right now. You do not want to be 4-0'd. And so this will be a very big situation for them to go on. And they have to be very careful with what they do. Now, the tough part is, and like we've said the last time, Silent Purge has gone against some higher-up teams. They went against Lemon Squad and they lost. And they went against Boss Fight and they lost. But the games were still fairly close. Now, again, this is only the first map. Beginners might be able to take on and take out Silent Purge 4-0. There's still that chance, though, that Silent Purge can come back and completely 4-0 them on the next map. Like, there's no reason to count them out with that. The kills have been fairly even, though. Sincast has been putting in some work. Now 5-2. With that, though, UC Death, he got a couple of kills last time. It's all up to this round right here. You do not want to give beginners the cap, and there's a chance for the cap. I would be stressed right now, being in Silent Purge's situation right now. But there is a chance that Silent Purge can still pull it through. We've seen this multiple times in the leagues, where beginners or whatever team will be up 3-0, and then the opposing team will be able to come in and tie it back up 3-3. So no reason to count that out. None at all. And it's been fairly even. The last defensive round, I mean, that was a tough one. It was 1-on-3 in the end, and Buxton got taken out from behind. But the first round, when beginners were attacking, was a very close round, and it came down to it being, 1-on-1. And beginners just happened to know better positions and had figured out a better place to be able to cap completely and cover. And because of that, Silent Purge will not make that mistake again on that objective. Especially when you hear the gunshots over there, you're able to somewhat pinpoint where those shots are coming from, and so you'll know that it's coming from in there, and you just are going to have to book it over there now, and so you're going to have to be very careful about that. And the league is going to take note of that. That is for sure. I'm excited to see what's going to happen, though. All right, and here we go. Moment of truth. What is Silent Purge going to do? Oh, that's why game capture isn't up. This is rough. Is beginner's going to come out guns a-blazing, trying to get a quick cap? I mean, they already put a couple of smokes out. S will have a run-in with UC Death if they're not careful. UC Death is running in very aggressively. One already taken out on Silent Purge. No trade. UC Death was very close to where S and Killinger are. UC Death is kind of moving quietly and... Ooh, almost getting a peek on that. Oh, in the trade. Killinger, though, is able to get revived. S and Woods will go around for that. That's unfortunate. Some more smokes coming out. A nade going in from Buxton, but they were both behind the crate, so nothing happened. The one in the tunnel has been taken out. That's a scary moment. That gives them a chance to possibly flank around, but it looks like they won't be using that flank. Very interesting with how slow this play has been. I mean, we've had some exciting moments for sure, but everyone's been somewhat more staying back and being a lot more careful. Buxton just taken out. Jay just gave away his position. Killinger threw a nade. Is it going to do anything? Yes, it is. Jay taken out. Kensai's using that. Moving in. Another nade. Getting them. Another kill. Beginners moving up 4-0. Wow. They just had mere ideas of where people might be at. They threw some lucky nades, down one, down the other, and here we go with that. Beginners taking the first round 4-0. Just wow. Now that's big. That's fun to see. Now, that was beginners pick, just so you know. Beginners are the home team in this, so that's one thing to be very careful about. While they're still loading in, we can hear them and stuff, so now we won't be able to hear them, and it looks like we are going to Suburbia. A lot of small map play. This is awesome. This is also one of my favorite maps, so I am always pleasured to... it's always a pleasure to commentate on this map. I love it. It's a blast. It's very closed off, but there are some very open parts, and map knowledge is absolutely huge. You got to be very careful, though. A lot of people have been going to like the same exact spots multiple times, And so you have to be careful about not repeating positions, because if you happen to be caught out of position, you can get naded, you can get killed so easily. Again, guys, I would like to give a little bit of shout out to the cast that is going to be happening this Sunday. We have ESL casting 2 matches. The matches will be Silent Purge, the 2 matches will be Boss Fight versus Lemon Squad, the rematch itself. And then right after that, it will be Danglers versus Globochem. Now, that is going to be an absolutely big match right there. That is one that I'm going to be excited for. And I honestly think that Danglers can give Globochem a run for their money, but Globochem has some absolute hot shots. Just absolute. I mean, you got Arsenic, you got Toast, you got Pants, and then you got Otto leading the crew. It's just a team to reckon with, but will this possibly be a chance for a new team to come out on top and to be the leading team in the U.S. division? There's a chance. Danglers have put in some work. They managed to beat G-Man, who was a very formidable team. Do not count G-Man out, though, either, because they've put in some freaking amazing work. This is a very exciting season, and we have a very high chance of seeing some new teams possibly make the top 4 this time around. So, with that being said, guys, get excited. Here we go, going into Suburbia. And with that being said, guys, it looks like the first objective is going to be White Car Objective. Now, this is a very dangerous one to try to get, just because you have to cross this road. And in trying to cross this road, there are a lot of places that people can watch and get angles on that have a high chance of getting you picked off. So you have to be very careful about that. Again, though, smokes have been absolutely crucial in trying to get this objective taken. Now, Silent Purge will be the first ones on the attack. This was Silent Purge's pick. Beginners picked Volkside. So with that being said, guys, it will be a fun one for sure. This will be a very big moment for Silent Purge. They are going to want to get this first point and then go in on the Volk side as defending. You do have a slight advantage going in, especially on this objective defending. And so you need to be a little bit careful. But if Silent Purge is able to get this first point, they have a very good chance of going up 2-0 with being on the Volk side the next round on this objective. So right now, Silent Purge needs these points. They are down 4-0. Beginners won the first map, which is Cargo, for those of you who might just be tuning in. Everyone's still running up. Beginners and Silent Purge, they do have a board behind them that has the map laid out for them. A lot of teams lately have been going in and drawing out, hey, you know, watch out for these guys here, watch out for here. This is where we're going to go. What are you going to do, Jay? Well, yeah, I'm going to go over here. And, you know, they strategize a lot more, and you are able to keep it fresh in your mind and come up with some new plays on the fly and work with your team on a brand new play and trying to take this objective. So it's really helped out. It just means that sometimes, especially in this kind of a moment and this crucial of a round, that these waiting times for us are going to be a little bit longer than what we might like. But with that being said, this, again, guys, this league has been absolutely amazing so far. We got a lot of good matches coming up real quick. A couple of them are going to be casted. For example, the matches that are still coming up this week. Tonight, or Saturday, we have Nightfire casting Ronin versus Fierce. Sunday, Legionnaires versus Animal House at 9 a.m. Mountain Standard Time. And then we got the ESLs, and then we got Boss Fight and Cannon Fodder casted by Nightfire at 1:30. So, a lot of options. Now, one thing that we have been seeing a little bit more off and on have been people hiding right here. They're able to get into these positions and then have a full view down the entire alleyway. It doesn't look like they're going to be doing that this time, but Silent Purge is coming out, just rushing through. Getting into position, not really checking too many corners, but are moving in. Again, though, timing is one of the biggest things and one of the biggest things that can give you an advantage in this league. Knowing that, hey, we can get up to this point before, excuse me, before the other team can get into a defensive position here. Ooh, some shots fired. No real progress made, though. Most of them are just waiting in the mid-house. Now, that's an interesting choice right there. Sorry, that's my own fault. Forgive me. Starjack's going to be going for a peek right now. He's got to be very careful. There's a lot of bushes that you can hide in that are very hard to be seen through, especially with Volk wearing all black. They blend into the bushes very well, and so you got to be very careful with how you peek around. 2 minutes have passed, and not a lot of progress has been made, but I mean, a lot of the times you try to stay back, you try to get some picks off, and then with that, you try to move your progress forward. So you got to be a little bit careful about how you go about doing that. Looks like they might be maybe thinking about crossing the street right over here. They have no one at the fence, no one watching the wide of lane 4. Kind of rare. Again, just quiet. Pre-firing in lane 4 behind the fence, you want to be sure that you get the person there. You might not be able to see them, but when you are able to pre-fire, you have a chance to be able to possibly take some people out. He's got to be very careful, though. Again, he has a high chance of being picked off like that. But still, nothing has been spotted. 3 minutes have now passed. Smoke out. A little bit off on the smoke. There still is a little bit of a gap. Starjack sounds like he is going to be throwing the smoke. Nope, a nade. Missing Woods, though. This is dangerous, though, right now, because they don't have full cover. But they are going to cross the street either way. I doubt they will look both ways. Jay shot and down. There is a huge gap there. But he's able to get some call-outs on where the other team might be. Does he have a chance of getting revived? There is a possibility. He does have a couple people behind. Buxton's right behind him. And he might be able to cross and get the revive. That is a little bit of a risky move. They did lose one in lane 3. It looks like Starjack finally got taken out. But they managed to revive Jay and are getting into a good position. Ooh. They got some problems with Woods coming up. Woods is waiting. He knows right where they're coming from. He's got to be careful, though. It is very hard to see kind of a view through there. And he's given away his position right now with firing his shots. And nade is going to go out. Beginner's had some pretty good luck with nades before. A little bit short, though. UC Death is still in a safe position. Jay's going to be coming right around the corner, though. But one of the best parts about this spot is as long as you don't really peek up, you're going to have some good cover. But Jay is sneaking up very quietly. Woods is not going to be able to hear him. Patience here, Woods, and he'll be able to get the kill. Woods has hurt him, but Jay is able to kill him and confirm the kill. But now it's only 2 left versus 3. But they have the whole backyard to themselves, which is absolutely huge on making this attack. If you can get into this position, that is a dream. So now, that's a very good distraction smoke. As they start moving in, they have 28 seconds. Time is not on their side. They have to kill 3 people. Jay has to be very careful, though. Time is not their friend. S is in the bush. He's a bush boy right now. Peeks up. Gets one. UC Death is the last one. And takes out Silent Purge. Last one taken down with 8 seconds to spare. That was some good movement from Silent Purge. Don't get me wrong, but unfortunately, in the end, Beginners managed to win out, and Silent Purge, unfortunately, was unable to manage their time as well. I feel like they waited a little bit too long in the beginning, and that's the unfortunate part with doing that. And so, you got to be a little bit careful about how you want to go about that. You can, on accident, spend too much time. There can be unnecessary roadblocks that might come up. Beginners did a very good job defending the backyard over in lane 4. Lane 4 being where they crossed at the bus. And that was absolutely huge because that managed to stall them out. The final 2 players, it stalled them out for probably about a minute and a half while they tried to take out that one person. Because they took so long to take out that guy, they were able to play time on their side, Beginners were, and just wait it out. And Silent Purge was forced to rush. So, very well done. Very well played on their part. And here we go. Why does that keep coming off? So, it looks like we are going to have to be waiting for one more to move in. While we wait, I'm going to take a look over at the Discord. We did have a match, Lemon Squad versus one other team. Also, Magnificent did beat Fury. That was posted here yesterday. They won 2 maps out of 3 and had a very close game against them, 10-8. Now, Bazaar was 4-3 on Magnificent, and then Downfall won 4-1 on Magnificent. But then Cargo was won by Fury. So, I mean, very close. We have had a couple of times in the league where what's happened in the past has been very exciting because we've had some fun stuff where they've been beaten on maps, but they've tied on points. Now, that's exciting. Because, one, it helps, yes, there is the team that still gets the win. They still technically get the win for winning 2 out of 3 maps. But the MMR is changed completely differently because of how many points they got. And that is one thing that makes this season particularly exciting. So, on the plus side also, guys, it looks like the match on the Onward Master League Channel 1 is still going. We'll take a look and see what they got while we're waiting.
You wait for things to kind of pick up the pace.
Whoops. Sorry for that. Here we go. Just can't. My mouse keeps vanishing. That makes it fun.
Good, pushing up. Oh, good. Is he going to take down Punish's legs?
Oh.
Meanwhile, Polisman and Kappa are coming to... this is going to be close.
Give me camera 2, give me camera 2.
Yeah, I'm on camera 2, and he's taken down. On the objective, gets taken down by Brazil, though. Guga now, looking for a refrag.
Low Miyagi also looking for Low Miyagi rushing around. But oh, he gets outplayed.
It's 2-on-1 now, Guga and Punisher.
That's it. Possible. Guga's falling back.
Falling back?
What?
Minute 40 on the clock.
What is he doing?
So viewers, I appreciate that the overlay thing is quite annoying, and it happens. It does happen too often. I appreciate that, but you gotta appreciate there's complexities involved. None of this is automated. All of it takes manual input from the caster. It really does add to everything. The scores, seeing the kills, seeing how many points, seeing which map went to who. You know, you can't assume everyone's knowing this all the time. So these, unfortunately, these overlays and everything, and these manual things that the casters have to do, add to everything. And without it, you know, you're not going to be seeing even half as much information. You know, people joining new won't know what the scores are. Things like replays, things like music, everything, it's all manually done. None of this is automated, and you know, try and see it from that perspective. It can be quite a forgivable crime because the casters are having to manage a lot of stuff. So give them some slack.
Even if it was possible that like one person could control the observer, and like, you know, like for example, then the caster or whoever's controlling the actual stream can then just like sit on them or sit on the observers and just basically cycle through scenes and stuff. That'd be one thing, but it completely at the moment it's all done from one person.
Yeah, it's all on Viper right now, so none of this is Radiohead's fault, so I'm trying to get at. Anyway, Guka now coming round, but Punisher's in a great position to pick him up. Is Guka watching that corner? There's 30 seconds left on the clock. This objective is not, they're not going to get a cap on this objective.
Whoa, Punisher just shot.
Punisher takes down Brissu. Punisher takes down Brissu, giving his way position to Guka. Guka rotates round, and that, oh my god, Punisher now.
Punisher just
Lemon Squad taking 4-0, and Punisher just cost it.
Wowzers, ladies and gents.
Gave himself away, team killed, and that's it. Lemon Squad take the series.
Yeah.
Well played by Lemon Squad. Punisher, who kept them in the game, in Bazaar, just threw away the...
All right, guys, and you saw that there. Team kill, unfortunately, giving the team away. But don't worry, guys. We now are here again with a completely souped-up match. So, right now, for those of you who might still be joining us or might still be involved in the game, what we got going on is right now, Beginners won the first round, the first map, 4-0 on Cargo, and now we are here on on Suburbia. It is pretty bizarre, but it's now 1-0. Silent Purge is going in on defending the white car objective. So it's been a very close match. It's been an intense series of games, and it's gonna be good. I'm really excited for what we might have in store. Silent Purge has been unable to get a point right now. It is currently 5-0. But it keeps coming down to the wire. Silent Purge has been able to get Beginners down to 1 or 2 people left almost every time. And so it comes down to just, you know, maybe managing their time a little bit better. Maybe, I don't know, just something needs to change to help them out. And here we go, guys. With that being said, if it'll let me, it might not. There we go. Here we go. Now, if Beginners have already managed to get 1 cap on a brand new spot that we have not seen on Cargo. For those of you who have missed that point, I am so sorry because it was an absolutely beautiful cap on a new spot that has been discovered by Beginners on where to cap on Cargo. That is absolutely huge. So, Beginners managed to get the cap on Cargo and move up and managed to win the series 4-0. So now here we go, Silent Purge. Now, with that being said, my friends, this is the positions that they are currently in. Now, I really like the spread out that the Silent Purge has. I'm a little bit worried about lane 1 right here by the objective because you can shoot through that white fence, so you have to be a little bit careful. But he has a great angle going over into lane 2. Some more shots. Everyone's been pre-firing that back fence now. That is a very strong spot, and also at the cement barrier right in front of him. You got to be very careful about that because it is such a deadly spot. This is being very careful right now, trying to figure out possibly where people are. A couple of nades have gone out, no smokes just yet. Firing on the porch, firing on lane 3. No avail. But having your LMG be the one that is firing is a very smart play because he has a ton of ammo to be able to spare. And there is a slim chance that he might be able to pick someone up. Very slim chance that he might be able to pick someone off randomly. It's happened before. Here they go again, smoking. That seems to be one of the more popular ways to cross the street. They got to be very careful, though. Buxton is ready and waiting for them, and possibly down. He's down. Nope, he's not down. He's up and ready to go. I don't know. Maybe likes to do yoga on the porch. I don't know, but either way, they are just booking it across. Their spacing, not exactly the best. And Buxton is AFK down. I don't know what's going on with him. It shows that he's still in the game. They're going to knife him and kill him. He was down. Okay, that's right. And they got the refrag on that one, managing to get the kills to make it 4v4, but that did give away his position. One taken out in lane 3, over by the objective bush. Great pick. They got to be careful about the flank around right now. We got a guy who is moving in defensively. He is coming around the fence. Jay has a good chance of being able to spot someone. He's got to be very careful about how loud he is here, though. Silent Purge has been able to take out 2 beginners right now. And they are so close to each other. Shots fired high. Managed to down Killinger and taken out, though. That's unfortunate. You don't ever... That's one of the best things. Either when you're crouched down, you have a chance of being shot in the head a little bit easier. But in that case, it managed to save Icy Woods. He managed to get the kill and the revive. And now Silent Purge is down. Icy Woods is going to be peeking around the corner. They're going to know where he's at on the porch. Even some blind fire might be able to get him taken out. That's what they did. They got the blind fire. They got the kill. They got to be very careful about the position that they're in right now because he is the last one. If Dr. Killinger is able to move up and around, or one of the other teammates is able to move up and around, they have a chance of being able to get the cap without Starjack being able to, or Strudjack, my apologies, on being able to capture this objective. That's what Killinger's doing. He's moving up and around. Strudjack hears it. Doesn't see him. Oh, he's trying to get his gun out. He couldn't get it out. But Strudjack was able to put in some freaking work right there, moving it down to 1v1. Silent Purge now with a minute left. He's got to be very careful about his peaks right here, though. Kinsai has a chance of knowing right where he's at and being able to get a pick off. And that's exactly what he does. Beginners moving up 2-0. 42 seconds left. That was still a good amount of time for beginners to really put some work in and get a possible of a cap. Silent Purge definitely wouldn't have allowed that, but there was still a good amount of time left. 42 seconds is a ton of time, especially when we've seen people in the league a lot lately being able to cap in under 10 seconds. That's absolutely insane, but it's possible. And with that being said, looking at the kill score, Strudjack now up 3-2, leading his team in kills right now. Buxton and UC Dub have been unable to get any kills yet in 2 rounds. And that's fine. It's just a little bit rough. Buxton did unfortunately get taken out a little bit early this last round. So we're trying to hope. I mean, again though, beginners are just barely playing a little bit better. And what I mean by that is, it's gone down multiple times now to where the final moments, the final minutes of the round, it's been, 1-on-1, 2-on-1, and beginners have just barely been able to play a little bit better. And so here we go now. Silent Purge is going to have to do something to get this going. Everyone's readied up. It looks like they're good to go. The next objective is going to be a garage objective, which is going to be absolutely huge for beginners. This is probably one of the hardest objectives to get the cap on. And the excuse me. The reason for that is because of how much you have to go through in order to get the cap. With that being said, the second one, in my opinion, is this 2-story, just because of how tight those quarters are. With that being said, having this mid-house being taken by the Volk is a big advantage. They're firing through. No one taken out on either side. Some sharp shots shot. They know that someone's over at the picnic table. Killinger is going to possibly try to get a peek out. Meanwhile, this is where everyone's looking at. One coming around lane 1 right now. Woods managing to get up with that kill. I had to get a little creative with the camera work there, but we managed to get it to work. Ooh, they're pre-firing, trying to possibly get a shot through one who is on the fence. Almost managing to shoot Woods. Woods is now moving into the mid-house. Now that is going to be a fortress on trying to take. It is almost impossible to take the objective while there is still someone in the 2-story house in the mid. You got to be very careful about how you do that. Killinger is just playing very patiently too. He's more so defending the stairs than anything. And it's very interesting because they're holding more angles. Sorry, I meant to go for that, Woods. They're holding angles instead of picking out or peeking out over at the picnic table, because a lot of the times when you peek out towards the picnic table, you have less of an advantage because the enemy can already be peeking up, watching you for that peek. So you got to be very careful about how you do that. UC Death is starting to move up lane 2 though. Woods might be able to hear that. If UC Death starts firing, he is going to be able to hear that. And possibly will be able to throw a frag out the window. UC Death has to be very careful though. There is one in the actual garage room itself. Woods is peeking out. Ugh, this is dangerous. Very smart move on UC Death, getting a couple of smokes out.
Sounds like they're gonna come in.
They tried to get it on the balcony. They were unable to. They're going to start rushing up to the second story, and Nate is out, but managing to get one. One running up, getting Kensai. One revived, but he's dead immediately. Woods ending up taking him out. There is one left, but they managed to take out 2 kills. Great move by Silent Purge. And UC Death now knows there's at least one left in there, but he doesn't quite know the kill count because Silent Purge was taken out before they could say anything as to what had just occurred. UC Death has to be careful, though. He has to watch out for the person who is in the garage. There is a slight chance that he can be picked off. Woods now knows right where he's at. Ooh, and taken out from the garage. Great listening. He did manage to take out S. He saw a peek of the head and managed to get a good shot. Now it's up to Kev. A 3-on-2. This is not a kind of advantage that you want. This is a tough situation for Kev. Especially having one still be in the mid 2-story. So trading shots, but it seems to be more either blind fire or firing at each other. But I doubt they're firing at each other. 2 minutes left, though. Still plenty of time. Let's see what happens. This is a very smart move, moving up, but Woods has heard him. He's called it out. He peeks. Oh, but he's not able to get the shot off in time. Beginners take another round, moving up 3-0. Wow. Now, this is getting interesting right now. Beginners have completely shut out Silent Purge so far. Now, one of the biggest things about that is, for those of you who are just tuning in, we managed to see Beginners win 4-0 on Cargo. Then we saw them move into now Suburbia, the second map that we are currently on, and they are up 3-0. Silent Purge is going to have to do something to try to get, if anything, a couple of points before the match is over. You do not want to be 12-0'd. That is the last thing that you want, but there is a slight chance that that is going to be exactly what happens. Beginners have just been playing super tight. Woods has put in work right now, also going 6-2, managing to also get one heal, even though that guy was immediately taken out. Woods has done some amazing stuff. So here we go. Also, one thing that here's the interesting part too, and a big part about why double tapping is such a big asset here. If you look over on the beginner side on Marsoc, they have 3 revives. Now, one of the biggest things about that is that means that they have stopped 3 possible kills on Silent Purge. So that's a lot more of an uphill battle for them. And you got to be very careful on the double tap.
Looking to get into competitive virtual reality gaming? Register and compete for free at VRMasterLeague.com. Join hundreds of community members in the official Discord, where you can find a team, discuss a game, and more. Every week, teams from across the globe play for the chance to participate in the end-of-season championship tournament for prizes from league sponsors, ProTube VR, and VR Cover. Think you got what it takes? Join VR Master League and find out.
Sickness getting dangerously close to objective, though. He is going for the plant.
Operator taking shots. They know he's back by the objective room. Kino's does have no idea Beasley managed to get past him. It's going to be a 3v3 for beginners.
But this is catastrophic for Raphael, right?
Soul defender now to the map.
God,
He
look
comes
at
down,
this.
kills all of them.
He did it! I didn't even see it!
He's getting greedy. Is he gonna get it? He gets it. He gets the knife.
All right, here we go. Another shot for Silent Purge to be able to get a point and stop this streak that beginners have been on. They've scored so far 7 points to 0 in the 2 maps that we have played. Again, though, this is one of the hardest ones to take because you do have people who are going to be in the mid-house, and then you also have to make it through the front yard of the Volk spawn house. So it's a very difficult situation to be in. Again, though, Jay seems to possibly be peeking out. Oh, just some blind fire from S. Uh-oh, we do have one flanking pretty close so far. Strudjak is in lane 3. He managed to sneak all the way up here, and they have no idea he's there. This is a big position for him right now, and this might change the round if he's able to make it work for him. He's got to be very careful, though. Does he have a silencer on his gun? No, he does not. So beginners will be able to recognize the shot coming from Volk because there is a very distinct sound with the shot. Shots out. He misses his shot. Oh, it gets down Icy Woods. But his team killed. He got team killed. All the way from the other side. Kev shot him. And now beginners are up. They only managed to down 1. And he's able to get revived. That team kill. Oh, no. No, no, no. That is the last thing that they needed right now. Also, thanks for telling me that S is Smoils. That means a lot. I had no idea. They're firing across. They're going to get the revive, though. I'm telling you, sometimes your team is your biggest enemy. I mean, we saw last week, we saw in the Phoenix match, Phoenix got, if I counted correctly, between 6 and 8 team kills alone against the Great Apes. You don't, it's avoidable. At times, you know, don't get me wrong, tensions get there, and you get a team kill. But if you are keeping communication up, if you are checking your tablet, there shouldn't be any reason for there to be team kills. And for Phoenix to get 6 to 8 team kills in one match alone is unheard of. And we just saw one right there by Silent Purge in a very vital position. Also, one thing that's been very interesting that we've seen lately is we've seen teams that in the beginning of the round, not only have they been trading mags, they've been trading nades, where one person has had 2 nades and one person has traded his nade for a smoke, which makes refragging very awesome because you can throw one nade, you can hear that they get down, and then you can replicate that throw and get another hit and kill the person, because nades do not, if rarely, manage to kill. Not a lot of time left, though. We are moving into 2 minutes and 30 seconds left. Ooh, one taken out from the porch. Buxton, great shot. That is such a hard angle to see. I mean, look at how camouflaged he is in there. But he's giving away his position right now, and they are moving in on the mid-house. Woods is sneaking around. I don't think he's going to be able to hear that, but he moves inside the house anyway. Ooh, and is taken out by Kinsai. They're starting to take the house. Jay's moving around, though. That's dangerous. That's giving away his position. Minute 39 left. Ooh, a nade out, managing to get a kill and trading another trade. Jay down. He's able to get a couple of call-outs. But dang, this is dangerous. Beginners are looking really good right now. Two on 3. The last ones they have to worry about. Mid-house is now clear. They have to worry about the spawn house with a minute left. Starting to fire already through on the 2-story. UC Death is watching carefully. He did not take the shot on the guy moving up, and I think that was actually kind of smart. Oh no, he's moving in. He's going from behind. He might not be able to be heard. If he moves in quietly enough, he'll be able to get the cap. Oh, they didn't go for the cap. They could have gotten it 5-0, but they secured it at 4-0. Silent Purge has now been defeated on both maps. A high five and celebration. Wow. And there we go, folks. There we have it. Beginners have won their second map of this series, 4-0. That means beginners right now are 8-0. Silent Purge has been shut out thus far. What that means is right now, beginners have won Cargo 4-0, and now, you know, Suburbia 4-0. It's one of those things. And it'll be very interesting to see how we go for the final map, and it's looking like it's Downfall. This will be interesting. Okay, there they go. Okay, I was worried. Tough situation to be in for Silent Purge right now, mainly due to the fact that they've been 4-0'd both times now. What they're going to need to do, and the ideal one, if you manage to lose 2 maps like that, you're going to want to try to 4-0 them, especially because your MMR is going to change a lot differently with it being, you know, 8-4 instead of, like, 12-3, 12-0. You do not want that big of a gap, but 8-4 is doable, and your MMR will not be hit as much as taking a loss and losing by being completely wiped out. It looks like this also was the beginner's choice. Now, we've seen beginners play this a number of times. We've seen them play it against Globochem in the final. I mean, multiple times. Downfall has been selected, and so this is a very interesting situation to be in right now. Also, for those of you who have just joined us, I know it's probably been mentioned many times before, but I'm going to mention it again. We have some very exciting ESL casted matches coming up this Sunday. That's going to be starting in the morning time, if I remember correctly, 11 Eastern and 1 Eastern. Okay? What that's going to mean is ESL is going to cast 2 of our matches while everyone plays from their homes. And that's going to be actually a really good treat because that is going to be a rematch of Boss Fight versus Lemon Squad. And on the flip side, Danglers versus Globochem. So guys, mark that for your calendar. If you haven't already, go on Facebook, go and like their page. It's VR League. Let me double check real quick for you. I want to give you correct information. VR League Live. If you look at VR League Live, they have a calendar of when they are going live next, and their next time going live will be for the Onward League. So, give it a like, give it a follow. Let's get some awesome stuff going. It looks like they're changing maps. Maybe they're changing sites. It's very possible that that Silent Purge saw this objective and decided to switch sides. Really good games though all around. I really was curious to see how that final round was going to go on Suburbia, especially if Silent Purge didn't get that team kill in lane 3 because he was in such a good position. But unfortunately, he was team killed. And that really affected that final play. Huh. Well, while they're strategizing, this is soon to be not the biggest map in Bazaar anymore, folks. The reason for that is because we have a new map coming out that has been announced this month by Downpour. Now, that is going to be absolutely amazing to see. It is Abandoned, which looks like kind of a, not exactly foresty, but a overrun by forest type map. It's going to be bigger than this. You already thought Downfall was big? Ha! Fat chance. Here's a bigger map coming your way. There's going to be a lot of vehicles that have overgrow on it. There's going to be hills. They've given us a couple of screenshots. Check it out right now on the Onward page on Steam. You got some pictures. Also, if you haven't already joined the Discord, there's also more pictures on there. It's cool. It's cool. All right, with that being said, where did they spawn? Oh, they got this spawn. They got to hurry up and cross. Good, they're crossing. They're going to put their sniper up in their position. And they have a chance to be able to run up and get into a very strong position before the defense is able to move in. See, they managed to pick one off. Woods is down, able to get revived, but he's right out in the open. Is Kinsai going to go for that? No. And now they're going to start peeking around the corner. They managed to confirm Woods right there. Kinsai getting a pick off, giving away his position. Buxton has to be very careful about going wide, though, having one up in the white tower on the hill. It is easier to see someone on the hill now with how it was relit recently. but still a very difficult situation. Killinger, you can see him moving around a lot in that dark room of the building next to the dumpster building. And Kinsai is playing this ground very, very well. Buxton's trying to get a peek on him. Kinsai not exactly hearing him, or if he's hearing him, he's not peeking. Nade out. Kinsai's running, and they managed to get Kinsai. Beautiful throw by Buxton. Alright, and these are the positions right now. Beginners are down 2, and Silent Purge has only lost 1 so far. Right now, though, also, Silent Purge is doing a good job at keeping their focus. Another one down on Beginners. They're having a good time flanking around also. This is a very big advantage for them. They have a good chance of being able to move around wide and moving in for the cap. Buxton might be able to use the wall to his advantage, especially with the smoke being thrown out. Being able to move up, using the cover for his advantage, and moving in for the cap. Buxton down by Icy Wood shot. Hasn't been confirmed yet. UC Death, though, is in a very good position right now, and he's possibly able to see right where Volk is moving up. But nope, he's not able to. The smoke is barely covering it, but he's able to get into a very good position, especially with 3.5 minutes left. This is looking very good for Silent Purge. This might be the moment where they break their losing streak. He's got to be very careful, though. Killinger will be able to hear his footsteps. He just heard that shot. You got to be very, very careful about being in those kinds of situations, because now Silent Purge is down to 1 player left, but with 3 minutes left. That's plenty of time to do something. And he's going to use this moment to flank pretty much all the way around. Again, it does look like we just had a lot of people join. Just so you know, this is the final map. It is Downfall. The first map was Cargo, Beginners 140. The second map was Suburbia 1, Beginners 140. And right now, this is the first round of the last map, and Beginners are up in players right now, 2-1. But Silent Purge might have a chance to be able to pull this off with 2.5 minutes left. Kev is moving very, very slowly right now. He's got to be almost careful about how slow he's moving. A whole 1.5 minutes has basically gone away. And he's still got a lot of ground to make up. He doesn't quite have an idea of where Killinger is at. He's got to be very careful about peeking around this corner and at the top of this hill. It's very easy to be picked off from just because of how fine the line on the hill is. He's taking his shots out also. That means his position's given away with 1 minute left. Smoke out. He hit the palm tree with the smoke. Oh, and he's looking at his gun. I did not hear that shot. Dang, did Killinger have a silence gun? I think he did. But I did not hear that shot. Woo, here we go. Beginners still winning it now. Here we go, 9-0. Silent Purge is down. Killinger 3-0 right there. Just absolutely beautiful, beautiful gameplay right here. I've really liked how beginners have played a lot lately too. They're probably one, if not the most patient team that I have seen. But they are doing a very good job at reading the field and being able to change and rotate on their positions very, very cleverly. For example, Killinger realizing that he heard the shots from UC Death up on the hill. Realizing he heard the shots up here on the hill. And then being able to rotate around to right here at this rock. Because he knew that they were going to be coming from over there, and this might be his best situation on how to deal with them. So using that kind of map knowledge, knowing where the shots are coming from, he's able to pinpoint and correctly rotate around, and effectively take out the enemy. And we saw that a couple of times. So here we go, guys. One more round. Beginners are now attacking this objective. Will they possibly get another cap? We've already seen them get one cap on cargo. Guys, watch that clip again. That's going to change the league. Oh, they're crawling across slowly. Buxton and UC Dust should be able to see them poking out. Buxton will be picked off, though, if he's not careful. He's standing right out in the open. Buxton did take a shot, and they already lost one. They know right where Buxton is, and he's pinned down right now. One is taken out on Silent Purge's side. A very nice pick on their end. Kev's got to be a little bit careful also, because if he's caught at the wrong angle, he is a dead man. A lot safer place to be in is the room right here, right next to him, which he now goes into. Good. Buxton still seems to be fairly trapped. But this is a good position. I do like it. It's hard to see. Once the spot is known, though, it has no cover from those angles, so he has a chance of being taken out. But until it is known, it will be very hard to see these shots. Just another double tap. I really like the spacing of the beginners right now. They're doing a lot of really good job keeping the cover and keeping Silent Purge tight towards the objective so that they know basically how much space they can move up before they start hitting opposition. What I mean by that is they stopped Silent Purge moving up all the way to the mid-hotel, which is probably one of the more stronger points to have and take control of on this map. And so because of that, now Kinsai and Woods will know, hey, they're all tied around the objective, so we can move in a lot more careful. Okay, they're going to start covering fire, so Kinsai can move up. There's the fire. So Kinsai is now going to move up and go into the mid-hotel. That's great cover fire. The biggest threat right now is Buxton in his position and up over here with Kev. If I remember right, that's Kev. One thing you got to be very careful about, though, especially being up where the guy is at the White Tower, right over here. You got to be very careful about that, because if everyone happens to be taken out and you are the last one standing, that is almost a guaranteed cap. So you have to be very careful about that. Two now in mid-hotel. 2.5 minutes left, though. Time is getting a little bit short, but, well, especially with the 2 on the wide, they're going to need to start flanking around a little bit quicker. Oh, and 1 taken out. Beautiful shot. With 2 minutes left, though, they're going to have to hurry with the flank around wide. That's the biggest worry right here, because it's going to take a good minute and a half just to kind of get around with the pace that they're running at now. There's also a slight chance that he can just cut down and move in that way. But that is a lot of open ground and a very risky move. But he might be able to pull it off, and there he goes. He's starting to run down the hill. Nope, he's going over to north-south Marsoc up there at the very north part. Minute 38 left, though. Time is starting to become a huge factor. Not a lot of movement, though. One minute left. 1 minute left. They're caught in a pretty tight corner, but surprisingly, Silent Purge has actually managed the situation pretty well for being immediately down a person and being forced back. Ooh, the one at the hill is taken out. 39 seconds left. They're going to be coming in from behind. They got to be very careful for Jack. Dr. Killinger is in a very good position, though. He might be able to spot them in the basement. Here he goes, running in, though. 25 seconds left. Will he be able to get a cap? Buxton taken out. They're moving in for the cap. Ooh, 14 seconds left. They managed to not get the cap. It was a close, close call. Tough situation to be in, but here we go. That's all she wrote right there. Somewhat. There's 2 more rounds at least. But it's coming together. Buxton, I mean, he got some good kills that round. Dr. Killinger, though, 5-0 right now. That is a very close call, though, because one of the other teammates on beginner was making it to the objective, but when he made it onto objective, he had 14 seconds to cap on it. That's a close call. But, I mean, with beginners, with how high of a caliber they are able to play at, should have still been plenty of time to be able to memorize the 7-digit code and to still cap. So, with that being said, let's get excited and see what's going on here. What is beginners going to do next? They're going to be defending the one, the only objective right here. It's going to be a good one, actually. There's a couple of different spawns that you possibly can get, so you need to be very careful about how you go about attacking and defending this. Defending this is a very tricky one, just because of how wide out in the open it is. One thing that's been interesting is a lot of people have been running over and trying to run over to the white car building right here because there's a window right here. That's a dangerous thing to get to, though, because you have a chance of getting picked off if they happen to spawn up here. And they didn't. They spawned all the way over at the other end of the map. The nice part about spawning all the way over there, though, is they're going to have a good chance to get a spread. They're going to have a chance to be able to go over here and a chance to being able to tack up the middle with all these buildings as cover. Now, there can be one that hides in this dark room to be able to try to pick them off, but they're in a very good situation right now. One already taken out on Silent Purge in the dark room that I told you about. On the cross. Got to be very careful about that. They didn't manage to get enough smokes out. Now they have enough smokes. UC Death managed to make it barely across. I mean, he ran across right barely when the smoke was starting to cover. Now that they know where the spawn, though, is, they're going to be able to rotate around and change their defensive positions a little bit. This is a big moment for beginners. Oh. Trapped. There we go. Hashtag map knowledge. So far, Silent Purge has lost 2 people so far. And still with almost 5 minutes left, and everyone is up on beginners. Again, once they knew where the spawn was, that's one of the big things. They knew where the spawn was. They knew it was over here, so they knew they had the timing down to where they could move over to the white card building to have a direct view on the objective right there. That's big. And it's going to be a big moment, too, especially because we have one who's going to be coming in from the east. Gotta remember my Boy Scout training. I got the compass. I got the compass first aid merit badge thing. Ooh, now here's kind of a dangerous part also. He's crossing, but he is kind of out in the open. If they manage to watch, a lot of the time it might be a little bit safer just to run from cover to cover. But in this case, they are a little bit safer. But being as tall as he is, yep, he had a slim chance of being picked off. Luckily, UC Death wasn't, though. They're making fairly good ground right now. The problem is right now they have one who is in the dark room, S, who is Smoils. What's up, Smoils? And then they have one over here in the ice cream truck building. That's what I call it. It's a nice building with ice cream right there. Or dead bodies. Either or. But either way, Icy Woods is also moving up right now. They have a good idea of where they are going to be coming from. So you want to watch that. But still, the guy coming up north with 2.5 minutes left. He's going to start peeking the windows here. This is going to be a very dangerous move for the guy coming up the hill. Woods might be able to spot him and take him out if he's not careful. If Woods is in the room that I'm thinking about, and yes, he is. Good. He can spot from this window. Shot. Boom. Taken out. That guy's not getting revived. There's no way with 1:38 that someone can move around and get the revive. Now, he will be able to give a couple of call-outs. And now that Wood's position is known, he is almost trapped in there. Smoils is taking some shots too. He's hanging back. At the same time, Jay is now starting to make his move. Jay now knows that that area is a little bit more clear. But he has to be very, very careful about Icy Woods here, especially with his movement. Looks like we got a slight body glitch a little bit. His body's flailing around right now. "51 seconds left. Now UC Death has to also be careful about how he goes around because he's got the tunnel and he's got Woods right here. He should know about Woods. He does. He pre-fires it and gets the kill. Icy Woods shrinking back to objective. 37 seconds left. You guys have to keep track of time here. This will be twice that you guys have lost the time if you're not careful. Jay's down. UC Death now knows right where he is. 22 seconds left. He manages to get another kill. He's running in. He's going for S. Is he going to get S? Oh! Smoils gets the kill. Barely in the nick of time. With 13 seconds left. Again, another really close call. He would have had to pull out his tablet and memorize the code for the cap. Another very, very, very close call. but Silent Purge was knocking on that objective's door. That's about as close as you can get. Dang, Killinger, Icy Woods, Buxton, owning up the leaderboard right now. Here we go, and what might be the final round, guys. Don't count them out, though. Silent Purge might be completely shut out. They are one round away from being completely shut out. They were shut out on Cargo, 4-0. Shut out on Suburbia, 4-0. And now it's 3-0 on the final map. Alright, with that being said, guys, here we go into the final round. Here's the final countdown. Alright, here we go. Same objective, same play. Let's see what happens. Same spawn even. Wow, good job. What are beginners going to do this time?
Watch them pushing the dumps, one push, watch them pushing the dumps. And watch all center bungles, where are all of you? Yo, one of you needs to watch center bungles, I'm pushing northeast.
Alright, I'll do the bungalows, then I'll follow you.
And they are off what might be the final round. Jay is pushing up very far, trying to get into the mid hotel building. Again, another huge central point is controlling that building. Meanwhile, beginners are at the top of North-South Marsoc trying to get a pick-off, possibly. With people trying to move into position, Smoils and Kinsai might be able to get a pick-off and also provide some cover fire while their teammates start moving into positions. At the same time, though, they got to be careful. One is right in front of Strajak. But Killinger is right there, ready to greet him with a barrage of bullets if he happens to catch him out of position. Boom, dead.
Is dead.
Oh, and he even knew it was Strajak. That's intense. Woods now being in position. He has a good guess that there might be someone in the mid-hotel. It's a little bit tough to call. Right now, it's very difficult to figure out where people are at, especially when they are not shooting. Now, this is a very interesting part about how Silent Purge and beginners are so different in how they defend. The spread on Silent Purge's defense is a lot wider of a spread. They had, what, 2 to 3 right next to objective. They had one on the outside wall right here. They had 2 inside the objective, one on the bottom floor, one on the top floor, and then they had one right here in the white car. So, I mean, slight differences, but they had a lot tighter of a defense, and it's looking like that's making a bit of a difference, especially when it comes down to capping. Now, ooh, this is interesting for Killinger, really wanting to just kind of crawl into this North Hotel. He'll be able to get it without much trouble at all, and that'll be a very strong point to start just laying down a barrage of fire. Again, though, almost 3 minutes have passed and not a lot has really changed. Everyone's just in the process of getting into position, and then fire will start to roll out. He did spot one in the mid-hotel. Oh, man, when your position is discovered and you're starting to take some shots, the pressure that can give you, Jay's in a tough position right now. Man, you feel your blood pumping when that starts to happen. Still, though, Jay's in a very good spot. Being able to watch the person mid, maybe, just because of how dark it is. It's so hard for him to be seen in that doorway. Oh, and he's going back to where he just got shot from. That's a risky move, in my opinion. Minute 42 left. Time is becoming a factor. They're going to have to start moving in. They have two people who are almost practically trapped upstairs in mid-hotel. They have their work cut out for them. Minute and a half left. Some more shots fired into mid-hotel. Possibly give some cover for how they're moving in. Taken out. That's a trade. But Kinsai, that's a big move right there for him. Woods is about to move in. He's got to be very careful about that person, though, in the white car building in the first floor. Oh, both taken out. A third will be able to hear him with 43 seconds left. He's moving in from behind and gets the kill. Killinger, another beautiful kill. Now he's going to be able to run up to objective or just get the kill. Beginners win.
Good job.
Completely shutting out Silent Purge. 4-0, 4-0, 4-0, 4-0. Just all around beautiful, beautiful gameplay right there, folks. With that being said, guys, that's the game. That's what we came here. That's all she wrote this time around. Will admit that. Thank you guys so much for being here. I am Silent Knight, casting this solo, but hopefully it went well, guys. Again, thank you so much for being here. And with that being said, guys, I am sending you out. Have a good one. Remember to watch the League match the Sunday cast by ESL. That's going to be good.